The same amount of people came up to me, but they didn't say anything about the Man Show or Loveline. They shook my hand with two hands and said, "Thank you for what you're doing." And I said, "I'm just talking." And they said, "Well, you better keep it up." And I said, "Well, I'm just, I was kind of brushing it off." I said, "I'm a comedian. I'm just doing my job, getting paid, talking." And they said, "No, seriously, it's important what you're doing. Keep doing." I've never experienced that in 25 years of being a C-list celebrity. No talk about funny, no talk about remember this episode, only talk about it's important what you're saying. Keep saying it. You must get that a ton.
Meet Google Fi, a phone plan by Google. With Fi, only pay for the data you use, or go unlimited.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go anywhere. And they couldn't really answer because the answer, and that's what.
And show, they say, "Where the juggies?" They say something about Loveline. It off. I said, "I'm a comedian. I'm just doing my job." The same amount of people came up to me, but they didn't say anything about the Man Show or Loveline. They shook my hand with two hands and said, "Thank you for what you're doing." And I said, "I'm just talking." And they said, "Well, you better keep it up." And I said, "Well, I'm just, I was kind of brushing it off." I said, "I'm a comedian. I'm just doing my job, getting paid, talking." And they said, "No, seriously, it's important what you're doing. Keep doing." I've never experienced that in 25 years of being a C-list celebrity. No talk about funny, no talk about remember this episode, only talk about it's important what you're saying. Keep saying it. You must get that a ton.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go anywhere really anymore. I live in really rural areas and don't leave. But whenever I do leave, yeah, I do get that, and it makes me sad because, as like you, I just talk. I don't actually do anything. I mean, in my personal life, I try to. I've got a million hobbies. I like to build, etc., which is doing something. Talking is not doing; it's talking.
Right.
But I think what they're saying is, bless you for living like it's 1985, like this is still a free country, saying what you really think, even if I disagree with you. There are a lot of people. I mean, the thing you need to, I know you know this, and I've heard you say it, but this woke shit is not popular. Like, most people hate it. Doesn't matter who you vote for, what color you are, how much you make. Like, most people think you should be able to say what you think, period.
Right.
Most people are not on board. This really is the Bolshevik revolution. We're being taken over by a small group of fanatics who've intimidated everybody else into obeying them.
So both Tucker Carlson and Adam Corolla, they return to this theme of the woke culture as a form of Stalinist Bolshevik culture. And once again, remember, they're talking about him going to the authoritarian state. And now they switch over to talking about the true authoritarian state, which is the United States from their perspective. And this is based on, once again, this kind of reversal, but also exaggeration and a lack of proportionality. But then they get to a conversation about how everyone praises them for their free speech, from their courage to say what they think, to not bow down to their woke masters. And it's interesting how both of them have this idea that all they're doing is just speaking. So on one hand, they want to present themselves as being these important cultural warriors, as having this incredible power and influence by saying the truth and just saying, what is reality. And on the other hand, they want to deny their importance. They want to deny that they have any responsibility. So basically, they want to speak and influence people, but have no responsibility. And here we see a very common theme in podcasts and in this general culture, where people who have a huge platform and who actually do influence people by providing them with a lot of material, a lot of delusions, they, at the same time, they constantly say that all they are is a platform. And underlying this is also the notion that the ultimate value is free speech. And so people should be able to say whatever they want to say, regardless of how it affects other people. And so you kind of find this underlying selfish um, insensitivity towards other people, and the idea that we should be free to express ourselves. So the id should be free, and that anyone who censors or tries to limit free speech is the evil superego oppressing us, and that this oppression of stopping people from saying hurtful or hateful things is actually the same thing as what happened in the Soviet Union or in Stalinism, complete censorship. And the ultimate irony is, of course, when Carlson went to Hungary and talked to the leader, he actually asked a question about China. And because of the alliance between China and the Hungarian leader, the truly censorious state actually censored and removed his question and the response from the press release and from the actual taped video interview. And so that was a true case of censorship, but he doesn't mention that. Instead, he is obsessed by the fact that as this kind of elite white male, he has been criticized, and that people like him can't say whatever is on their mind. So, from a psychoanalytic perspective, what we see here is that there's all of these underlying unconscious rhetorical practices going on. On one hand, denying their importance and their effect while they're affecting lots of people. And ultimately, the goal is to deny responsibility. So they want to be able to say whatever comes to their head, and they don't want to worry about offending other people. In fact, they want to provoke other people, but they don't want to be held responsible. They don't want to have any criticism, and ultimately, they want to position themselves as the true victims. So they are the victims of the Stalinist woke culture, and the people who are really victims of our society, or the oppressed people, or the people without power, are the victimizers.